telly, ESPN, it's a top 10. Lock in, lights, camera, action. I don't fold a band when it's time to win. Trolling cause we're rolling under lights, we don't get anxious. Do it with a purpose, we don't do it to be famous. Really they been hating cause they ain't us. Lock in and get dangerous. What you get you see, I'll always be me. What you get you see, I need no ID. I need nothing, no, something wrong. I like Kim Rose, I need money rolls, flip it go. See you when I'm old. In a Tesla, still would ride a diesel. I'm not Greeno, but the checks was. Now they come in wires, I'm retired off the best ones. I was in the creek and in the dirt, I lived on both sides. Still was always me, no double life, can't pick the best ones. Friends they come and go, still are the best ones. Through the lowest lows, and I still got blessed up. I've been running non-stop, I can't rest up. I'll just keep on working till I'm the best up. I've been trying to do right, but getting left much. Slipped and fell a few times, still got my chest up. In the gym, I got my chest up. New Takovas on my toes, now that the check's up. Giddy up! Lock in, lights, camera, action. Telly, ESPN, it's a top 10. Lock in, lights, camera, action. I don't fold a band when it's time to win. Trolling cause we're rolling under lights, we don't get anxious. Do it with a purpose, we don't do it to be famous. Really they been hating cause they ain't us. Lock in and get dangerous. Look in the mirror just for motivation. I see my past, I see my kids, it gets me motivated. Don't gotta say it, I just know
So welcome back to Spots and Stripes Redhill for what is the Tier 2 final, race to 9. I'm very pleased to be joined by the last event's Tier 2 final. Mr. James, how are you, mate?
Hello. Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, best seat in the house to watch this.
It is. You've got all these cameras and screens to look at it, and you can see the table. So, Jay, you won this last time, and did that mean you got moved up to Tier 1 this time?
Yes, it did. Sort of fortunately and unfortunately. So, yeah, had a bit of a testing weekend overall. Some really tough draws, but yeah, good experience to go up to Tier 1 now and know what to expect for the weekend. I'm going to get a tough match, whoever I draw. So, yeah, it's changing my mindset a little bit this weekend.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's all about always improving, isn't it? It's like, without any disrespect, I don't think you come here with any real intention of winning like the main event or something like that.
No.
But if you can come and you can get some scalps in Tier 1 and you can see that you're improving, that's the aim, isn't it, really?
That's it, yeah. I mean, I played Mikey in the last two events, actually. I think one was a 7-6 and one was 7-4 or something, very close matches. So I think this is my first year on GB9, actually, so just nice to show an improvement each time. And I think Mikey is having a similar thing, just getting better each event. So hoping they can both play well in this final, really.
Yeah, and I assume that whoever wins this will have the same fate as you and be automatically moved up to Tier 1. I don't know if that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think potentially for the rest of the year, and then I guess it'll get reevaluated as we go.
But it was Dean that won the lag and broke dry. And now Mikey has first chance. He was so worried about touching that 5-ball as he was queuing over it. He's actually fired and missed the pot.
I think what I found a bit difficult was coming onto this stream table. It was my first visit to this table for the weekend, and it plays really, really nice, but it plays a little bit different to the outside tables. So if you can get an early chance and an early few balls in a row, that really helps you settle down, because otherwise it's very hard having one shot on, one shot off.
Oh, of course, yeah. You don't want to come to a table a couple of racks down, and that's your first real opportunity to. And you know you've got to use the cushions, and you've got to try and guess the bounce, and yeah.
And sod's law, everything seems to go a bit funny when you've been frozen out a little bit. You get hampered queuing, you get queuing off the cushion.
Where's this gone? Oh, maybe it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can't believe he's got past that 5-ball. Found the pocket.
Slightly different throw. I know, speaking to some other people that played on this table the weekend, getting out snookers, kick shots, really difficult on this table compared to some others, because you just don't see the angle.
Yeah, we've seen a few times the cushion absorb some of the angle, if that makes sense. So it takes some of the pace off the ball, and the ball doesn't bounce quite as far as you expect.
Yeah.
So it's basically a bit slidey, for another sort of phrase. So yeah, it can be difficult to read. But yeah, both these players are going to have a bit of time to get used to it. Race to 9, like I say. So all the other races throughout have been to 7 in this event. This looks like it's going to be a bit short.
Yeah, so it's a bit of an unfortunate thing, having to travel the cue ball quite a bit early on here. It's one of those when you think you should get it, but you're gradually playing yourself out of position, and each shot gets a little bit harder.
But he can fully concentrate on the pot here with the 7 over the pocket. But overcutting it isn't ideal, because the 6 stays there.
Yeah. That was, as you said, that was one to sort of commit to the pot, whether you maybe hit it a little bit harder to guarantee that pot and know that you're going to be on the 7 anyway.
So both players seem to be playing pretty quickly, I would say. Don't know if that's their normal level of play, or rate, I should say.
Yeah, I think they are both quick players.
Oh, well, that's good. That's normally makes an exciting pool to watch.
That was confidently played.
And it's Dean who takes first blood.
He'll be glad to get his first one on the board. Haven't seen Dean, I don't think, at previous tournaments this year, so I think this might be his first event of the year. So I mean, that's 100% for making the final.
Some of us only managed a semi-final.
But did beat a certain other person on the way in the last event.
Thanks for mentioning it. I wasn't going to bring it up, but now you have. Yeah.
It just slipped into conversation there.
Yeah, it was a good battle. I think it was Hill, wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you were up, got to Hill, and then I think it was a close, as Hill frames tend to be. One of those, bit of a back and forth,
Bit
but
cagey.
Yeah, I think it was overall a solid match. So I think both of these guys have come through the losers' side. I think Mikey might have lost his first match actually, and then he's been on a bit of a run. I think 7-5s and 7-6s. So he's certainly got the experience of being in close matches so far.
Well, he finds the side pocket for the 1, but the cue ball scratch.
And look where the 2 is as well.
Yeah, not a lot for Dean here. He's going to have to play safe, but he's probably going to leave a horrible one, you'd think, if he can find cover.
Yeah, it's always nasty when you scratch off the break and then you see the balls are a bit congested and you suddenly think, I might be on 2 fouls here before the rack's even started. It's a bit of a fiddly one, though, I think, to judge the pace of this. Might have snookered him on the potting angle. I'm not sure.
Tough to see. The way he's looking at it suggests he can just about see it. Three ball. Wow.
Oh, wow. And the 2 goes, I think.
Definitely does.
Oh, it might
Decided
be
to bank
one.
it instead. Clever.
This is one for YouTube, this frame. It was interesting to see how you play that one, because that's decides how confident you are, really. You might want to play that with a little bit more pace and play a stop shot rather than running it through. That was nicely hit.
Yeah, what I like that he's done with that one is something I always forget to do, because I'm so not used to the 9-foot table for playing. I'm used to a small 7-foot table. I can reach anything on the table, but he's brought that ball back to middle table so he can actually reach it without stretching.
No, I'm the same. I'd rather overstretch than use the rest sometimes, just how abysmal my rest play is.
It's going to be close there. Julian looking over. It'd probably be the first time these players have played with a proper referee, as well as the arena.
Yeah.
Didn't get into that.
Yeah, potted it a little bit thick. Again, I think that's getting used to the pace of the table a little bit, knowing how hard to hit those ones and how much reaction you're going to get off the cushion. I think he might be all right here.
It's close to it though, so Julian's keeping a close eye. No, he did well not to double hit it, but he has missed the pot.
So I think this one just snicks in. Played it delicately. I think that was a slight worry on the in-off.
Yeah, he has caught the point, and like I say, it's just taken some of the pace off and also changed the angle slightly. And that's why he's not really on this 9 ball as he wants to be. Tester into the middle.
Yeah, it'd be a nice confidence booster to knock this in, though.
Near jaw.
Missed it low.
That's a chance. Gone begging. Doesn't look like this is going to be any easier though.
No, that's a horrible leave, really. It's a decision time. Do you try and bank it to the corner, or do you just try and play a safety containing shot? Yeah, he's played that well.
Safety it is, but yeah, it's good. It's good. So decisions. It's got the David Al-Qaedi bank on potentially.
Yeah, and I always think that's sometimes the problem with playing a containing safety shot. You might play it well, but then you still lose the rack because you sort of force your opponent to go for something. That looks close.
That looks perfect.
Close
what a
to
shot.
in. Great shot. That's it. It's that unfortunate for Dean because he played a good shot and it's cost him.
Yeah, sometimes we were discussing this yesterday. Sometimes you just don't get rewarded for playing the right shot, and some players make that change their behaviour. And I don't always think that's necessarily the right thing to do. Like, probably Mikey there probably would have got that less than 1 in 3, I'd have said.
Yeah.
But you know, you playing the percentages, you're generally going to have the best outcome.
Yeah.
Over on table 27 in the pro event, 9-8 to Matt Wrigley. He was just on the 9 ball and he's potted it, so he has won that match 10-8. Mark Foster was ahead for a lot of that match, I believe. So Matthew Wrigley still having a fantastic weekend. He's now into the semi-final of the pro event, where he'll face Ramesh Gokul.
I think it was actually Matthew Wrigley's match yesterday where a similar situation happened that you're discussing. I was watching that back in my hotel, but yeah, I think the right shot was played and Matthew then potted out of the snooker because he had to hit it at pace. And that was a similar situation there.
Yeah, I think that was also his match where he was against Imran Majid, massively behind, 6-2, and he came back on a tear and won that one. I think it was 9-7 in the end. And I think it was that sort of shot that started that. It's the second time that Dean's missed that 1 ball high. He needs to slightly change his aiming point, I think.
Yeah, it's the aiming point and then the speed, I think. It's getting the speed of the break. I mean, from my experience, the first break I hit on it, I nearly hit the white off the table. I hit it so hard.
Yeah, obviously we play with the forceful break rule, but it doesn't mean you have to hit it as hard as you can.
Good aggressive shot there. He could have elected for a push, but decided to go for it.
Yeah, it didn't even enter his mind, I don't think. He was straight down on that pot.
A little bit pacey, I think, here, unfortunately.
It's a shame because he's got that cue ball stuck behind the 5, but he's brought the 2 up with him.
I think, yeah, Mikey could be in a bit of trouble here.
Lots of good things can happen here. Plenty of balls to hide behind.
There's no Virgo's gap.
Yeah, Mikey seems to be a player who makes decisions very, very quickly. Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
very positive. Doesn't consider any sort of bad things, which is, you know, when you're keeping the nerves off, sometimes you can overthink things. Nice little bit of run there to block the potting angle.
Wow.
It's very positive.
I mean, that's actually a lot tougher than he's made that look as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the safety was probably the easier shot there. Those are just the ones sometimes you need to take a little bit of extra time on because they look like easy safeties, but if you don't get the speed right, then you put yourself in big trouble coming next.
Yeah, you see similar mistake, especially with amateur players, when balls are straight over the pocket as well. It's you're obviously going to pot it, but they just don't take enough time to see where exactly to hit the object ball, and then they're out of position very quickly. Swerving this. Didn't get enough on it.
Didn't get it just on the speedy cloth. It just, cue ball doesn't move.
No, the side spin's very, you need a lot more for it to take, and same with hitting the rail. So that's the sort of thing you were alluding to.
Yeah, you really need to hit it hard to get the swerve, because if you play a delicate swerve, it kind of just travels on the same line, but it spins on that line. So I guess that's why jumping is so much more popular and people are so good at it now, because it's easier to play a jump shot than it is to swerve it. He's just run into a bit of trouble there. I think a bit of right hand side on the cue ball.
Yeah, these are tough. He's looking at a short, sharp jump shot. Tough to get this up and down and not bouncing. If it's bouncing when it hits that 5, he could be off the table.
Yeah. Good hit. I always find if you're a bit taller, it helps with those jump shots.
Oh, 100%.
It's getting that elevation on the cue. Someone like myself, not the tallest, I feel like I'm on my tiptoes and really struggling to actually get the elevation.
This was something I was discussing yesterday, actually. I've seen in tournaments, because it's the push out for me is like the biggest area of strategy, I think, in the game, and it's so undervalued. And I've seen recently players, what I'd call playing the player. So I've seen tall players especially pushing out to a jump shot where you've got to be able to reach the middle of the table in order to just hit it.
Yeah.
Because their opponent's a foot shorter than them.
Yeah.
So they're literally playing out to these positions where they can hit the shot and it's a fairly simple jump shot, and their opponent cannot physically hit it.
Yeah.
So it can be a massive advantage, I think, the taller player.
We've got another jump shot here. Yeah, and I've just bought a jump cue in between the previous tournaments just because I was very aware that my opponents, if they looked across to my corner, that's a great shot, by the way. Yeah, if they looked across to my corner and saw I didn't have a jump cue, when they're pushing out, they just push out to an easy jump shot. And then I sort of have to try and blag that I'm going to play one with my normal cue. But yeah, I think a few years ago I played at the UK Open against Masato, Japanese player.
Yeah.
And he cottoned onto it sort of halfway through the match, and it did make a big difference. And I noticed yesterday, I think when Phil Wildman played Anthony Ginn, I think Anthony just uses the one cue for everything.
I noticed that. He's he likes a kick shot. He's a
fun player to watch. There's a lot of spin and a lot of good shots going on, but yeah, it's noticeable that there's no jump cue there. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays this with a bit of pace to go up and down, or just tries to stop it.
in between.
In between. I think that was, make sure you get the pop. That was nicely played.
Holds his hand up because of the flick on the 9 more than anything. He absolutely meant the pop. So he doesn't really get down fully on his shot, does he? But it doesn't seem to affect him. By that I mean his chin doesn't hit the cue like sort of the traditional.
It's just the sightings are a bit higher up. Nicely taken out in the end. A couple of good pots there to get into position.
Yeah, 7 in particular was a tough one.
Just looking at the scores, there's a couple of hill matches in the flyer, including our leader, Mr. Dan.
No, yesterday he told me he's never playing pool again. It was that bad, and immediately the next day he's got his cues.
I heard that. I tried to get it on film, but yeah.
But I think we all feel like that from time to time, don't we?
Oh yeah, definitely. Never playing again. Oh well, I might just have a quick hit. It's similar to golf, isn't it? You might be having an absolute shocker of a round, and then you birdie the 18th, and everything changes.
Well, I literally don't play golf because I have not got the mentality for it. Exactly that reason. I really do not play that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it's an expensive hobby.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is for me. The amount of balls I lose per round. I think it does help mentality-wise, as you said. It's very easy to lose your head. And even though it's an individual game, if you lose your head and your opponent sees that, it will sort of boost them up a little bit as well. So I think
hugely.
That might be one of the strengths that I have compared to the other players here that are better than me on the table. But I know if I keep myself together and don't get too angry at myself, then at least that might give me a bit of an edge over somebody else that maybe expects to beat me. And if they're not beating me, then I can see their anger level going up. And for me, if I've got low expectations, I just keep myself a bit more grounded, and you never really know what can happen.
Yeah, well, I used to play the mind games quite a lot, actually, when I was playing. I was explaining to Sam, when I sometimes used to, I don't do it anymore, just to be clear, but I would like deliberately apologise when I've had a bit of luck, but really over the top.
Yeah.
Because I just know it's going to wind someone up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not actually sorry in any way.
No, no.
But it's, like I said, it's not something I do now at all. But yeah, if I can get someone riled up and hitting the table or whatever it is, I know I've already won that match.
You can play into it, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got really lucky there again. I'm so sorry.
Horrible, really.
But I know Dan said, I think in the final I played, I had a golden break, and I apologised. And what he said, yeah, why you apologise? And he's right, because you're not sorry, but it's just got a nice thing to do to your opponent.
I do get it, and most people apologise for exactly the right reasons. Yeah, I'm not trying to say it's all mind games, but yeah.
But it is sort of right, because that's a nice little plant.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a slippery slope, because then if you pot another ball off the break that's not the one, then you apologise for that, but then it's a break. It's obviously going to be a fluke of balls going around the table, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm very much an advocate. When somebody's got you in real trouble, and all you can do, even hit just getting out of the snooker or whatever, you're going to leave a shot on. So you deliberately hit it very, very hard just to try and make something happen. But at least you've recognised that the scenario is that's your only option. Yeah. And then you get a result from it, and then someone holds their hand up. Well, I honestly, I would say you've recognised the situation perfectly. I know you didn't mean for that ball to go in there, but you've given it the best chance you can for that to happen.
No, I think I learnt that of playing 9-ball over 8-ball is, sometimes when you're getting out of a snooker, it's sort of hit it medium hard or give the balls a chance to get some distance between them. Whereas you might play 8-ball, you might play a more, I don't know, defined shot of trying to get a certain ball somewhere on the table. But at 9-ball, if it's early in the frame especially, you've got 6-7 balls for cover. So if you get enough distance, then there's a chance that something's going to be safe.
Speaking of safe, that was a really good safety from Dean.
Lovely weighted shot there.
Cuts out any chance of any jumps. It's a tough one to read. Referee just asking Dean to sit down. That's what I mean when I say that players aren't necessarily used to playing in an arena with a referee.
Yeah. Jules is not going to miss that one.
Yeah. Like, I don't think for a second Dean was doing anything to try and put Mikey on. It's just what Dean's used to doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was unlucky. Yeah, and when you play on some of the outside tables as well, there's some of them are a little bit close to each other, so you might be sharing a stall. So sometimes,
Sure.
you are used to standing or out the way, or sometimes you just stand up because you think you might be in the line. You don't know whether you're better off standing up or sitting down and not moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it can be tough in an environment when there's tables close together.
So there must be a gap between the 9 and the 7 here, I think.
Yeah, actually looks quite large from that camera angle.
Yeah. Probably just got about the full pocket to aim for, although it will be in his eye line, the 5 ball.
Yeah, and that's something that can absolutely make you change your shot, although he didn't there. He still managed to get in, even though clipping the 5.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm especially very bad for missing a ball the other side, because I just see that as bigger than it is.
So even though it didn't affect him having a shot, it's mucked up his angles a little bit here, because now he's finished the wrong side of the 6, so might have to go up and down the table and make sure he gets the pace and avoids that 9.
Yeah, looks like he's putting some power into this. Well, he's going to catch the 8. Is it going to block him?
And that's the problem you have with 9 ball, isn't it? You just get a little bit out of position as soon as you have to move the cue ball around, even though there's 1 or 2 balls on the table. You just know they're going to be in the way. Electing to jump here, I think, but he'll have to get it up and down quickly.
Yeah, not a lot of room there at all. Julian right on this. Didn't manage it.
Yeah, I think that was a tough one. Maybe a little bit of frustration from the positional shot and kind of wanting to go for it rather than maybe playing a safety kick shot or something like that.
But what it looks like early doors is this match is going to be full of drama.
Yeah, I think if I was in either of the situations here, you want to get too clear, because with alternate breaks you do see quite often trading with racks, and when you get too clear it does give you a little bit of an advantage, and you just think, well, I'm always going to get another shot in this match. I'm not going to be sort of left in my seat for too long.
Takes out the final ball as well, and locked up again, 2-2. So Jay, are you planning to be at event 4?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think the way the dates worked out, actually, when they first came out, I think I could only make 1 out of the 4, and then a couple of them have changed, and then when we didn't have the events at Savannah's, and actually they're 4 weekends, I've been 3. So yeah, hopefully here in November, I think end of November, first week, maybe first day of December, maybe.
28th to the 30th of November.
There we go.
That's the dates, yeah. And then a couple of days off, and then it's Moscone Cup time.
It is Moscone, yeah.
At the wonderful Alexandra Palace in London this year.
Nice bit of business for the London hotels. Will you be reffing at the Moscone?
I couldn't possibly say.
Couldn't possibly say. That was a strong maybe, not sure. But it's exciting. I think we'll wait and see what the teams end up being. There might be a couple of new players, I think, on the US side.
Yeah, well, qualification for that event, we'll go through that in a minute.
There's a lot better hit on the break, just unfortunate not on the 2 ball.
Yeah, he changed side he's breaking from.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good break. But yeah, qualification for Moscone Cup this year, same as last year in terms of 3 automatic spots for the top European and US players. So the rankings absolutely make a massive difference. Currently, I mean, the US side, there's already a lock, as you'd expect, with Fedor Gorst well up on the rankings. SVB currently in second, and he's about 18,000 points ahead of Tyler Steyer, who's in third. But right behind him, Lucas Fracasso Werner, young player. He's only a few $1,000s behind Steyer. And then you've got another 5 or 6 players all within sort of 10,000 points. So one good performance in Hanoi, or at the Perry Open, which also carries, although it's not a major, it carries big ranking points because it's got a $200,000 prize fund, same as most of the majors.
Yeah, and that's going to be a very strong field as well. There's a lot of players going over for that one.
Or even a good performance in the Philippines Open, which is happening straight after and is the actual cut-off date. So you've got 3 big events.
Yeah.
One big performance could see anybody take one of those spaces, really.
And I think that's important for the captains as well, that whoever qualifies, they don't have to rely on an automatic pick. And that will change the strategy of how they go about forming their team.
Yeah, as you say, so we're going to have playing captains again for the second year in a row. There to be announced. But if the playing captains qualify by right as one of the top 3 players on the team, then they instead get a captain's pick, which can turn the tide.
Yeah. I think Mikey's a little bit wrong angle here. I think he would have preferred to be further to the left of the table so he could just drop onto the 9 or off one cushion, where he might have to swing this round a little bit.
Ooh, I thought he'd missed that.
Yeah.
I think he thought he'd missed it. He
Luckily
decided
the
to leave it long.
speed allowed it to go in, but he's lost the cue ball now. This is one that you need to fully commit to. Just don't worry about what if you miss. Play it at a nice speed. I think that was just borne about by the 7 to 8 position. Just didn't get himself in comfortable zone of using the natural angle to get onto the 9.
It's there.
Yeah, played that nicely. You'd expect him to get that, but still a bit of a confidence booster to knock it in. Oh, very impressive memory of all the numbers there from the top of your head. That was, yeah, very good.
He says as he watches me wade through my notes. See, I do make notes. It's good.
I'll have to think of something to test you on later on.
Oh, I don't have that many notes. Don't think too hard. But yeah, going back to that qualification, I might as well use these notes now I've got them. The European side is much more open. Nobody's a lock. Joshua Fuller on 88,000 or thereabouts. Claudio Cacci is second currently in the rankings at 77,000. FSR 61,000, and then you've got a lot of players around the 50,000 mark. Niels Fine, Jonas Suto, Moritz Neuhausen, Piers Labutis. So lots of people that we haven't really seen at the Mosconi either for a while or ever, who could qualify by right.
Yeah, and I think that's because Fedor keeps winning everything. So the top points for the tournaments.
Well, you say Fedor keeps winning. I've seen Aloysius Yap win everything this year.
Yeah.
Fedor's year was definitely last year, but this year is definitely the turn of Aloysius.
It has gone like that in the matchroom events. I mean, that was FSR did it the first year, and then Fedor came through, and
it's so bizarre, isn't it? Because there's such big open fields, and we always say that this game is there's so much You're relying on a lot of open shots from breaks and things. A lot can happen. You need more than just skill. You need quite a bit of luck as well.
Yeah.
And yet, 2023 FSR dominates. 2024 Fedor dominate. Aloysius Yap this year has won the last 3 open events in a row.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think.
It's not as if they're sort of back to back week after week. There's plenty of time in between when you think to keep that streak up for months is really crazy. Bit unlucky there. Mikey's played the safety shot and fluked the 2.
Good contact.
I think that was similar situations to the Hill one with Dean Shields' semi-final yesterday against Mark Capito. He played a safety and locked it up behind the 4 and somehow doubled it to middle at a very fine angle.
Yeah, an angle you'd never even pot if you were right behind it, and at a pace that you just can't believe it's just gone in.
I think there was a couple of really harsh Hill. I think that was a bit harsh for Dean, and then I think Doug Clark had one on here yesterday, 3,000 Hill against Fraser.
Yeah, that was a good match as well. Yeah, Dean will tell you he is the unluckiest man in pool, and a lot of people will say that, but I'll tell you this, Dean is the unluckiest man in pool. Yeah. I've never seen anybody genuinely have so much run against them I mean, it's only been a couple of matches that I can really remember, but definitely one. I remember him playing English 8 ball against, I think it was against a guy called David Admiral. David plays Fast and Loose. That's right, yeah. And I've never seen so much one-sided. Like, it was every frame. Anything David couldn't do anything wrong, and Dean couldn't do anything right, and it was just nobody would have won that day if they had the luck that Dean had.
Well, the good thing is Dean won't tell you about it, though.
That's right. Yeah. He'll never mention it again, and he'll definitely forget it straight away.
Yeah. I think he had another bit of luck yesterday when he had to bring Jake Newlove here for 9 a.m. And
he was really happy about it.
Yeah,
he was looking forward to a lie-in. It earned, and then Jake told him he had to play at 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's why you split the petrol money.
That's right.
There's been a bit of a safety battle without either of them getting control of the rack so far in this one, so there's potential pot on here. I think he's covered the pot, but it's easy hit off the cushion. There's the first mistake. The 5 to 6 shot will be a crucial one here. If he gets on the 6, you'd expect him to finish them up. I think that's just took his eye off it. Concentrated on the cue ball so much that forgot a little bit about the pot. This could be a real point of the match, I think, for Mikey here, because he was looking like going 4-2 down, but if you can get it back to 3-3. Unfortunately, just overhit that a little bit, so it's, I think, containing safety coming up.
Hasn't quite got full cover, but he's got distance.
Yeah, I think I might have been tempted to leave the cue ball down here near the 8 ball somewhere. It's a nice pot.
Any reward? Not really.
No. But they're still playing very quickly, making their minds up. Don't think he's quite got the snooker on that one though. Yeah, nicely played. About the best he could do, I think. That was nice and aggressive there.
Another good one.
Yeah, 2 positive shots in a row. Good finish there, and he's got the 2-frame gap now.
Yeah, that's what you were saying was so important in this alternate break format.
And this is where you see the bigger matches when on TV. I think you have breaks after every 3 racks.
Yes.
So I think in this situation it might have been beneficial for Mikey here to have a little bit of break, go out, come back, sort of regroup, which you don't get in these ones. But I know a lot of people do like to take timeouts and just go for a wander or something. But sometimes it's difficult if you're just sat in the chair thinking about that previous game. You're better off just putting your mind at rest or doing something else.
Do you know, that's where I think I'm very fortunate in that I have a very short attention span. I've already forgotten what happened in that rack. And that happens so often. And often, because a lot of people like to post-mortem the matches, don't they? And say, well, this happened here. And I genuinely don't remember it. And it's so it makes it easy to put things out of my mind.
That's quite good. That is, yeah. You could probably sell that skill to somebody.
I don't know if it's a skill.
Well, yeah. Call it a skill. Don't knock yourself.
But I also forget other things as well. But it means that I can watch films, 2-3 times and still don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, watching box sets all over again. Just don't forget what ball you're on next. That's when it gets embarrassing. So that's interesting. He's changed sides again, having broken from the right side and made one. He went back to the other side again. Wonder whether that was a conscious decision or just sort of reverted back to what he would usually do rather than what he did for this table.
Yeah, I don't think it's the side that's causing any issue. It just seems to be hitting that ball a little bit too full and or with a little bit too much backspin maybe. It's just making the one ball go high.
Would you always break from the same side, or do you change about depending on how the table's playing or what you're seeing from when you do break off?
I change about. But I mean, when I played the last event, I didn't even know how to break, to be honest. There's footage of me just very...
unlucky dead weight.
Very gently... I say gently, I literally just touched the one ball. Only just, it's that thin. It's just...
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to get a little lesson off Mr. Stephen Ellis after our match, because I'd never really played with this break format before.
That must have been expensive for you.
No, I mean, it only cost me the match. He didn't tell me during the match, obviously, but he was happy to tell me after.
Well, I think it's important that you at least have that flexibility to be able to change, because I think there are some possible amateurs that will just break non-stop from the same spot, even if it's not working.
Yeah, it's literally the definition of insanity, isn't it?
Yeah. But it is something, I mean, I've still not really mastered the break coming from an 8-ball background, but yeah, there's a lot more to it than you just think, because I think if you come into it you tend to thirst for be how hard do I hit it, and when you don't pot one, you hit it harder and harder and harder, and that just makes it worse because you're not concentrating on where you're striking it.
Yeah, it was literally my aim that was well off. He's played safe here, but I might have got there.
Yeah, I think he's got it, just from my angle there.
Swerving this again now. Has he learned he needs to put a bit more on it? He hit it harder, but this time he didn't have time to take.
Yeah, a bit similar to earlier.
Drifts that ball gently down. Nice position on the 3. And they'll be looking to keep Mikey in his chair and open up an even bigger gap.
Bit of a stretch here over the 2 balls. Got to be careful not to put any unwanted side on it.
This is good though.
That was wanted side for sure.
Interesting. Didn't
Yeah.
attempt to get top side in the 6. I thought this 7 might be slightly in the way.
Yeah, I guess it was maybe a bit of worry of the middle pocket if he was trying to get position, but it's certainly the tougher side to be potting from. Although not a problem there.
No, made it look very, very easy.
That was nicely struck.
His confidence seems to be getting higher.
Yeah, he seems to be in a nicer rhythm now, I think. Not rushing it too much, but still at a nice pace.
Yeah, you can see here he's just taken a few seconds to see the exact line he wants to hit. Something he wasn't doing earlier. Nails it.
Well played.
5-2.
So I think, yeah, we've got a very important break for Mikey here. I think he needs to get something down off the break and at least get himself back in control of the table. But it's still a first to 9. Still quite a long match really for your opponent to get over the line of. Even if they get to 6-7, get on the hill, you've always got a chance if you keep getting back to the table. If you've alternate breaks, you never quite know what's going to happen. Unless you're playing Liam Monk and he plays a cannon followed by a golden break.
That was some sequence, wasn't it?
That's the way to finish off the match. Two shots.
He absolutely lined that kick shot up. That was unbelievable. I hope they put it on the socials later because that was really good.
I'm saying at least it was a good golden break as well. The one went in, got nicely sliced into the corner. It wasn't one of those sort of balls go everywhere. And
yeah, absolutely. Intended to fire the cue ball on and off the rail and hit the 9 perfectly, and that's exactly what happened.
No apology needed.
And then he did apologise, obviously, because that's what you do. One high. Oh, the 2 balls saved him there.
2 balls saved him from the scratch and went in. But yeah, I think they're both missing the 1 ball high at the moment. It's going to be interesting whether it thinks he can get the cue ball hidden behind the 6 or whether he's going to send the cue ball down the table.
going to catch the 9, and it sends the 1 ball.
That's tricky.
So you know what? He might have just accidentally left a gap. He might be able to just see the edge of that one, but perhaps the 6 is in the way.
Yeah, you might be right there.
It could have been horrific if he didn't have this gap. That was going to be quite tough.
Just needs to avoid the traffic with the cue ball if he's sending it round.
Not quite giving it enough.
He has done, but where's the 1 next to the 9 there?
I think he's going to be playing, you'd think he's going to be playing the cue ball into the 9 to try and make it. And he lines it up.
Just gotta be careful he doesn't just nudge it over the pocket, and I think you need to go for this wholeheartedly and full out for it. If that's what you're playing, it's very easy to sort of try and play the safety and hopefully knock the 9 over.
Yeah, he just took one little practice stroke and hit it.
And that's the danger now with the 2 off the table. It's not left an easy shot on the 1, but where the 3 is.
Yeah, potential for a quick rack, especially if that one had gone somewhere easier for Dean. He banks it.
He's gone very aggressive. Now, does he have a side of the 3 to clip off? It'd have to be very thin.
No, I think he might have the alternative as well. Might be able to bury it right against the rail and knock the 3 into the 9, but probably the harder shot.
Yeah. I think it might be a little bit too thin. I think he's...
It was a good hit.
Yeah, it was a good effort. Not quite sure if it was on, but from where he was, I don't think he had much else to actually go at.
He might have been unlucky and left this. It's very tight.
Yeah, it certainly opened things up now, though. One good pot here. It's a little short on pace, but he should be okay here. Just to float it up and down the table, leave himself mid-table again. A little thinner than he'd like, but again, just natural. Just make sure of the pot. That was nicely played. Maybe a touch straight though.
Yeah, he's going to have to force it. He just swing it slightly to the right, so he can go off 2 rails. But 9 ball. Oh, yes, but the danger in doing so, as he took the shot before I could even explain it, is it can make you look silly if you miss the pot.
Yeah.
But he didn't get where he wanted to get to either.
That was one maybe taking a little bit more time, because that was sort of the frame. If that had gone right, you'd have fancied where the rest of the balls were. That would have been over with.
But it hasn't cost him on this occasion. And Mikey could really do with getting this one.
Yeah, I think it's worth really knuckling down here and making sure of it. I think it's quite a key moment of the match.
It's going to be going 1, 2. I thought he'd go narrow and go 3 rails.
Might have worked out a nice little cannon there if he's held on to it.
Yeah, I think he has.
Just caught the cushion first. Just everything seems to be going awkward. It's one of those when you're trailing in the match, you just don't get position as you want it to be. we found our gap again.
Yeah. And that was, in all honesty, a mistake. Should be tight on that 9. I don't think this has got the pace either. Or maybe.
Yeah, I think he's got away with that one. Certainly didn't want the 7 anywhere near the middle pocket.
He's straight down on this. So
Yeah, give it a bit of pace.
It. Yeah, all he could do was clip it. It's just gone a bit messy now.
Yeah, and I think Mikey's probably in a similar spot to I was in when I was a similar score down, and I just did not feel comfortable over the long pots. I just didn't know how hard to hit them, whether to be positive, whether to be negative, and when you haven't won a frame for 20 minutes, half an hour, and you've been sat in your seat, it's very difficult just to fully commit to everything. But yeah, I think he needs to, if he gets another shot, make sure of it, because 6-2 and 5-3 is a real big difference.
But it doesn't look like Dean's going to give him that chance.
No, not after that.
That was nicely played.
Yeah. Yeah, you like those ones where it's a drop in for a 9.
Absolutely. As a player, there's no better feeling than knowing you're going to put in. And this time, Mikey does take your advice and just steps away from the table, which gives us a chance to take a look around the room. Most of the match is taking place on flyers, but we do have in the tier 1 Simon Ayres, who's been playing some fantastic stuff actually. He's 3-3 with Phil Wildman, that's a race to 7. Anthony Ginn now faces Imran Majid in the semi-final of that tier 1, and Imran is 3-1 up. We saw Imran play fantastically well on the stream table here against Fraser Patrick. And in the pro event semi-final, Matthew Wrigley is 3-2 up on Ramesh Gokul. So a bit of time left in that one.
Knowing Ramesh, that will go a long way. I think that will go very close.
I just want to try and take a look at the pro event, because I think Dean Shields was playing his match and I can't see that one anymore, which suggests it's probably over. Or maybe they haven't started yet, I might be wrong. Let me just try and take a look.
Did Dean beat Liam Monk? I think Dean Shields was playing Liam Monk.
He was playing him, yeah. So yeah, Dean's beaten Liam Monk. He's done very well because in a race to 10 he's won 11-2 apparently.
Oh wow.
No, it looks like Dean's won that one 10-2. So
got a bonus rack for being unlucky.
yeah. So Dean is through to the final of the pro event. Some consolation to losing out in the semi-final of the main event yesterday. And he's just waiting to see who he faces. Either Matthew Wrigley or Danny Gokul. And as you said, quite a bit of time in that one. 3-2. Well, it's just gone 4-2 to Matthew.
So he's right on the edge of the break box now, giving that one a go.
Again, still high.
Yeah.
No random ball either.
Yeah, as you said, it's the strike on that one.
if you play at all and you've tried this brake box, this cut brake to try and get them on the side, you know how hard it is. And that's why it really amazes me when you watch these top pros, and they're so annoyed that if they miss it once in 10 racks, they're so annoyed.
And that's clipping the jaw. It will just lip out on the jaw, and it's really annoying.
Yeah. And I'll get blamed, of course.
Yeah.
But it's so tough. Like, I saw on his own socials, Fedor Gorst was, it wasn't with a brake box, but it was 9 on the spot. And he broke and ran 13 in a row. 13. Now, without a brake box, you do have more control of the cue ball.
Yeah.
So there's that element of it. But 13 in a row is just, I don't know if that's been done before.
I don't think I've potted off 13 breaks this whole weekend. But it has made the games a lot more exciting and a lot closer, bringing in the brake box and the different racking spots. Because I do remember that first UK Open, and there were a couple of matches that were 7 or 8 in a row, breaking dishes with...
I think the first UK Open we were still playing 1 on the spot.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell me for sure. But that basically gives you the guaranteed wing ball, doesn't it? It's it has to be a very bad rack for the wing ball not to go in, or a very bad hit.
Yeah. And I think it was winner break.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I watched some... I can't remember who it was, but they played on one of the stream tables, one of the first matches, and I think, other than the lag, I think they might have had one shot or one push out or kick shot, and that was it.
And I'm glad things have changed and developed. Obviously, don't get it right 100% of the time, but they do listen to feedback and do change it, and the players have asked for the relevant changes. And what I was really pleased about, I mentioned this on commentary yesterday, so if you're listening again, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. A good attempt at a jump shot.
Good hit.
But the World Championships this year was the first time we were able to track the metrics for break and runs. So Julian's just asking for a replay on that one. It was a very tight call. From here, it looked okay, but it was tight, obviously. Yeah. It looks good to me. Let's see what Julian thinks of it.
Yeah, you can see the freeze frame. Look at that for a freeze frame.
So, Sam's very happy.
Good use of VAR.
Good old TYPLive. Got all the gear.
And it saved us being embarrassed from calling it as a good shot when it...
Well, it looked good from here, but I'm not right behind it, and it's...
the trick is, well, when the cue ball is elevated as well, sometimes that is tricky to see what one it's clipped.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I was talking about there. Oh yeah, the Saudi World Championships. Yeah, it was the first time we were able to track the metrics of break and runs, and I think that was a really good thing, because what it proved is that there are some vocal people out there who believe that if you win the lag, you win the match at pro level, because it's so easy to break and run and stuff like that. Now, we had 1 5-pack, 5 break and runs.
That was Robbie, wasn't it?
It was Robbie Capito, yeah, and that was right at the beginning of the week. 1 5-pack, a couple of 4-packs, and then plenty of 2s and a few 3. But it just really showed that these are the best players in the world, and even the majority of them over hundreds of matches can't put 4 or 5 together.
Yeah.
And that really shows how the break has developed, and it makes a massive difference, so that you don't get these easy layouts, you don't get these massive you don't sit down in your chair till you're 7-0 down, that sort of thing, which some people believe is the case, but it just isn't.
Yeah, and especially with the 2 balls on the back or the sides, and the break is obviously 9 balls running into each other randomly. So, yeah, to expect that anybody's going to... I mean, to do 5 in a row is exceptional.
Yeah,
you must
absolutely.
really be controlling everything there.
Yeah, and also have a bit of luck.
And get the luck to have the shot on the 2, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of a bit of luck, this is that 2 ball. Where it's landed isn't great, I don't think, for Dean.
No, not when the balls are this close. Not even that easy to get a good safety, get the distance with the cue ball.
So hard to judge the line that the cue ball's going to take. So he's just tried to put it on the rail.
Opted for distance there, but I think probably knew he was going to leave some form of shot. I guess where the 4 ball is, that's the difficult one in this layout so far.
Wow. Sort of indicated with his cue. He thought it might have drifted a little bit.
Yeah, I think playing it at that speed, maybe with a little bit of right-hand side, very tricky to judge it.
Well, Dean here is potentially eyeing up the 2-9. I think he might think better of it.
Yeah, I guess that's because of where that 4 ball is, but it's certainly not a 2-9 I would be very confident over.
Maybe I was doing him a disservice. Maybe he was actually looking at where to leave for the 4, which is a very similar line.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been looking to try and break out the 4, but I think you're right there. I think it does go if you get just top of where the rack is.
Well, he's made sure he can see it by going over to the right-hand side.
Problem is where the 5 is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 to the 5 is just horror. 7 balls in the way, right side pockets in the way.
Don't know if he can stick the cue ball behind the 7 and send the 4 around, or if it's going to go close to doubling it.
That's absolutely got to be the play here. Well, he played the double and he brought the cue ball back for the 5, so
I guess the problem with that, with playing the screw shot, you have to hit that so hard, it's going to straighten up the angle for the double.
missed it but not missed it.
Sorry, not sorry.
To be fair, if I'm his opponent and he leaves himself that, I'm all right with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought for a minute he'd find the 5 as well, but he scratches.
Yeah. I think I might have come off the bottom cushion there, just to sort of guarantee the hit a little bit and maybe get the 9 in motion if you're going to be hitting it quite hard anyway. From Dean's perspective here, I think just keep your focus and make sure of this. He's very much in control of the match now, so unless he makes a silly mistake and hands back to Mikey, I think it's sort of in his hands. Yeah, a little delicate. I think he's got enough of an angle out now that he can just come out for the 9 to middle.
That's okay.
nicely done, no mistakes.
7-2 now. Only a couple away from taking this Tier 2 title.
That's it. I think that's 5 in a row for Dean there. That's full momentum on his side.
Yeah, it absolutely is. He went 2-0 up. Sorry, no he didn't. He went 2-1 up. Mikey brought it back to 2-2, and then Dean's been on a tear ever since. Simon Ayres, Phil Wildman now stuck at 4-4. Doesn't look like it's going to be easy to separate them.
No, and Matthew Wrigley just pulling away a little bit there, 6-2 up.
Yeah, he has had a very good weekend. He ran Fraser Patrick close, 9-8 I believe on the first day. And then he had a fantastic comeback win yesterday against Imran Majid from 6-2 down. Now he's 6-2 up. Let's see what he's like as a front runner. But I think it'd be nice to see him in the final against Dean, who's already there, Dean Shields.
Yeah, that'll be a very exciting final if that's what it is.
But a long way off there yet. As I speak, Ramesh has just got one on the board. 6-3 now. Let's see if Mikey can work this breakout. No. And even worse. Disaster with the scratch. I say disaster. 3-ball might come to his rescue, covering up the 2.
Yeah, just wonder whether he might pot the 1 here and lay a nice snooker on the 2. I think he can get on it if he's basically aligned with it, clip it in.
Well, he's going to play the snooker, or is he? He's just giving himself lots of angle. Might just be giving himself lots of angle.
Yeah,
he might be playing the snooker straight away.
Certainly a lot of balls to hide behind on that left-hand side.
Yeah, if we can get right in amongst 6, 9, 4.
Just careful of the clipping off it and going in off. It's a clever shot really to develop the 2-ball as well.
Yeah, so a lot of distance here. If Mikey wants to consider the jump, he's come to the table without a cue deliberately because he doesn't know what he's going to play. But yeah, he'd have to carry the 4 and the 6 if he's going to jump it. He's actually gone to his cue case, suggesting he's going to use something he doesn't often use.
Yeah.
The secret 4th cue.
Yeah.
Here comes the jump cue.
And this is an advantage for somebody like Fedor, so good at these shots. This would be a relatively straightforward jump shot, I would think. But quite terrifying for me, trying to jump over this many balls.
Absolutely. Well, it was a super solid effort.
Yeah, very good attempts.
He got the ball up and down. Hit it almost exactly as he wanted to. Tough to do when he's having to accelerate through the cue at that speed.
That was very well judged.
Yeah, a bit more on that, and that would have gone wrong. Just a little bit of it inside. Spin here to pull the cue ball straight up the table, beyond the 4.
Yeah, very nice again. And Willie. I was going to say, would he be tempted maybe just to flick the 6, but he doesn't need to. Just needs to find the gap here, I think.
Yeah, I'll go either pocket, top or bottom. He's missed this, I think. Oh, it's just dribbled in.
Great judgment of speed.
Yeah. That's on me.
It did look like it was going to be wide.
On the rail here.
Yeah,
Not
just
ideal.
a little bit awkward. Might just have to run it through and play the 8 long, whereas I'm assuming he'd wanted to play that in the side.
Well, he's jacking up here, so he's not going to be just delicately touching this one in. Cool.
I'm not sure that's what was intended, but it's worked out.
Super sky high stun run through. It works. It's pretty much as good as he could have got here.
Yeah, very nice.
Just taking a moment here to wipe down his cue.
Yeah, smart. Just make sure of it.
Really good finish that was.
Yeah, no mistakes. That was very solid. Good pots, good touch as well. Keeping control of the cue ball.
And 7 in a row is the task for Mikey Duncan. Very, very difficult with an alternate break format. Not impossible.
Will we get a golden break to finish? One of those crazy things where you struggled with the break a little bit and then suddenly at the end, you never know.
Simon Ayres and Phil Wildman. Guess what? Tied 5-5.
Yeah, I think Simon had a 7-0 win this morning. I think he's been, last night and today, on top form.
Yeah, honestly, I've watched a couple of his, or parts of his match. He's been playing really, really well. Julian just having a word with Dean there. Not sure what that's about.
Maybe he said if he was to win, don't jump on the table.
Maybe.
There we go. Got the one, and we've got a slight chance here. Which would be a big chance if he can find the plant with his first one. One good shot really opens it all up. He might just be wondering about the speed to play this, whether he can hold the 2 over the middle pocket or whether it's going to go down towards his corner bag.
Well, he's played safe and he's played a really good save.
Yeah, very good. Probably the correct decision there.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible for Mikey. It's not the hardest ball to hit, but if you come in 2 rails, chance of a scratch, very difficult to get saved.
Yeah, the 7's in the way, possibly for the one cushion, and as you say, if you hit the bottom rail, you're not sending the 2 very far, and the cue ball's straight towards the pocket.
He's just seeing exactly how far down the rail he can hit, because the 8 is also potentially blocking the 2 railer.
Yeah, you really have to hit this 2 perfectly, because otherwise you've got a scratch in the corner, or if you try and clip the 2 into the corner, you might scratch off the 8 into the middle.
So 3 rails it is. I don't even know if that's on. The 9 might be in the way. Might have to try.
Just even go 4 rails behind it, but then you're not going to hit a cushion afterwards.
Yeah. He's gone 2. Oh, that's a great hit. What a great shot. There was so little gap there. That's the best escape of the weekend.
Yeah, deserved that.
What a shot to play just to stay alive. And 2 doesn't go.
No, he doesn't want to fluke one.
And he has.
Although,
no, I don't think he's on there.
Something about the 2 ball and inadvertent flukes or potting a ball when you're playing a safety.
Dean can't replicate Mikey's success in escaping. Snooker of his own making, so Mikey has got a chance and he really has earned this one.
Yeah, that's it. Making sure he got out of that snooker's earned him this chance, and hope he can put this together and get back into it. Needs a good positional shot first off here though. 4 doesn't go into many places. Needs to slow up. He's okay. Played that confidently. Just needs to be a little careful here of where the 5's going to go.
Yeah, it's one of these. He's going to play the billiard, I think, and send the 5 down towards the corner pocket where the 6 is and use the cue ball to pot the 8. And he does.
Yep, well judged.
Just got there. Yeah, plenty of room there. Oh, we could be stuck beyond the 9 here.
Yeah, that was the issue with going forwards, I think, from that one. You had the 2 balls to avoid. Just too much angle, though, I think, maybe to pull it back. Still got to give 100% to this, I think. Make sure of the hit. You never know if you can knock it safe. The 7's not a guarantee.
Yeah, he's looking at the up and down just because it lends itself more chance of fluking the 6. Well, I'm with you. I think making sure the hit, especially by coming short side, would be my preferred option. Easier to judge the distance as well. This is
difficult at that speed.
Bit of luck. He nearly got it, but all he's done is he might as well have left ball in hand.
Yeah. That was it coming that way. It was difficult to see how he could get it safe.
I just think he went all out for that.
Yeah.
The last hurrah, I guess.
Doesn't want to be straight. He's fine. Perfect. You'd like this to be dead straight and unmissable for the match-winning 9.
He just wants to make sure he gets away from that rail a bit. He's overdone it, if anything.
Yeah, these are... You should be making these all day long, but to win the match, it's definitely going to be a little bit fiddly.
So, Dean Passer to be Tier 2 champion. This 9 ball,
Right in the middle.
well played.
Well done, Dean. That was impressive. 7 on the spin. Played very solidly there in the middle. Not very many mistakes.
Yeah, there was some really good stuff in there. Mikey still hold his head up high though and get into the final, and he had that great 2-rail escape as well.
Yeah, and hopefully Mikey takes a positive from that. That's definite. He's getting better with every event, so hopefully overall that gives him a lot of confidence.
Well, thanks for joining me, Jake, and we'll be back soon with the next match.
Cheers, Ben.
Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, a moment can live on forever.